Utah as the Aggies await the BYU Cougars. And one of college football's most beautiful backdrops, we're in Logan, Utah. Presented by Geico on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. The Cougars and the Aggies meet again. With Jenny Dell on the sideline, Aaron Taylor, I'm Carter Blackburn. Both these teams 4 games into the season, and I think safe to say with October right around the corner, both BYU and Utah State are trying to figure out exactly who they are.
They certainly are, and it's weird because at this point in the week, I usually have a pretty good idea of how good these teams are and what's going to happen. Tonight, I don't have any idea, and I don't think these coaches or players do either. So I think we're going to get to see a game tonight where 2 teams get to prove to themselves and everybody else what they're made of.
And that begins with the quarterbacks. Tanner Mangum won't play for BYU, so it's Beau Hoge making his second start.
Beau Hoge is a mobile, athletic quarterback, but I think it moved a little fast for him a week ago. He locked onto his receiver. He had the check down, threw a couple interceptions, but later on the game, what I loved about him, he didn't wilt. There was pressure. He kept his eyes downfield. He stepped up in the pocket and was able to deliver the football on the move with accuracy, and that's a great place to build from.
Meanwhile, for Utah State, Phillips 66 Athlete of the Week, Kent Myers. At Wake Forest, it was bad. It started with a pick, didn't get a whole lot better. Bounced back at San Jose State with 4 touchdowns, 2 passing, 2 rushing. So that means Matt Wells, the former Utah State quarterback, coaching his alma mater, gives Kent Myers the football first. We do expect to see a couple quarterbacks play for Utah State. The Mountain West Conference Coach of the Year in his first season coaching Utah State, now in his 5th. Giving Dallin Levitt a hug, the former BYU Cougar. And Kalani Sitake is coaching his alma mater, now in his 2nd season as the BYU head coach. These teams know each other very well, and Jenny Dill, they got to know each other a little bit better in pregame.
Yeah, Carter, almost 2 hours before the start of the game, things got a little heated on this field. BYU was stretching. Utah State traveled nearly 80 yards down the field to deliver a message. This is our house. And then things went from there. Even Utah State co-defensive coordinator Kendrick Schaefer got involved. There was a lot of yelling, some hand gestures. Players were fired up. Head coach Matt Wells said some of these new players don't fully understand this rivalry. The in-state kids, they're ready. Out-of-state kids, they'll learn today. Guys, I guess they started the learning process a little bit early.
Oh yeah, and I tell you what, the student section, the herd was out here early. I mean, behind him, it was rocking and rolling pregame. Touchback, Utah State will get it at the 25-yard line. Our Chick-fil-A starting lineups for the Utah State Aggies. It begins with Kent Myers, the senior quarterback from Rowlett, Texas, Saxe High School in Dallas County. First 2 years, 10-4. He was back and forth as the Aggie starter with Chucky Keaton, the oft-injured Chucky Keaton. And now Kent Myers, I mean, this is game number 5 of his senior year. He's trying to find his rhythm in his senior year as well.
Certainly has, completing 68% of his passes, but Carter, accuracy is a function of not only knowing where to throw, but when to throw it. That's going to be a storyline tonight, the decision-making of quarterback Kent Myers.
That's the one hunt in the backfield. Aggies in all white, the stands in all white. Fumble, Myers picks it up off the bounce and ends up turning it into a positive gain. A 4-yard gain on what was nearly a disaster for Myers on the first snap.
And they're going to hurry up and get back to the line of scrimmage, but it looked like he was focused on where he was going to go instead of where he was. Not uncommon early on in a big rivalry game.
No traveling called. 2nd down. Hunt will take it on the left side. So 3rd down. Tanialu makes the stop as we look at the rest of the starters for Utah State.
Well, tonight it's going to be all about the offensive linemen up front. Andrus, Iniguez, Ficklin, Castaneda, and Taylor have to lead their team offensively on the way to victory as we have a BYU player down, number 92.
That's Tanialu who made the stop on the last play. That's handsome Tanialu, the nose guard and one of the strengths of the BYU defense.
He's a big old load of laundry up inside there, and that's really one of the mismatches that I think BYU has against this Utah State team. I've been impressed with the defensive front as we see number 95, Kairos Tonga, is fresh off his mission, but he is a heck of a playmaker. Keep your eye on 35, who's replacing handsome Tanialu.
First down on the opening possession, critical for Utah State's success. If they could open with a first down 2/3 of the time, they score.
You notice 4 down linemen, it's 3rd down, but going back and forth between 3 and 4 down linemen is something to keep an eye on.
On 3rd and 5, Myers pressured. He tucks it. He has room to run on the outside, and Myers goes scrambling for a first down. Shoved out near the 45-yard line. Hanneman finally makes the stop, but Myers finds the edge for a gain of 16.
That's really one of the things that makes Kent Myers such a good quarterback, is his mobility and ability to turn nothing into something, as we saw there.
So the Aggies get that critical first down, and now they hurry it up. Myers looking for a deep shot over the middle. It's caught and incomplete. Incomplete pass. Nathan couldn't control it through the catch.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass.
They may need to take a look at this. I thought he demonstrated control. The ball was there. It stayed motionless for a couple seconds. It's when he hit the ground that it came up.
Hurried up, flinging to the outside, complete on the edge. That's Tarver, Utah State's leading receiver. Bobbles makes the catch. 3rd down again near midfield.
This is an offense that likes to use tempo, but we've seen several mishandled footballs already right there. The first play of the game with the snap with the quarterback, and a big play that got dropped a second ago.
All new starters on the offensive line, including Quinn Ficklin, the former BYU Cougar. You will hear all night about the ties between these two. Myers, time to throw. Out of the backfield, finds Hunt. Dancing his way across the 50 for another first down. 2 third down conversions on the opening drive for the Aggies.
Excellent job of protection up front. Expect Utah State to go extremely fast here. Myers went through his read progression very smartly, dumped it off to his check down, and moves the chains.
El Toro Allen in the backfield now with Myers. Check to the sideline. Offensive coordinator David Yost. Myers on the screen to the outside. Tarver on the edge. Shoved out. Good gain on first down. A chance to look at the BYU defense.
Well, all week long, the talk has been about reestablishing their identity. So Fred Warner, number 4, the captain of this team, coaches tell us his leadership's off the charts. He told us they need to get back to hustling and playing with more effort and heart.
Called this a must-win for the Cougars. 8th play of the opening drive for Utah State.
This is a really nice Aggie drive that's been successful despite their ability to put the football on the ground at times.
Play clock winding down. 3 seconds. Give it to Allen. Room to run up the middle. It's Warner who makes the stop close to the first down as El Toro Allen.
Really nice job with the vision that time. The tight end did a nice job of keeping his guy crushed down across the line of scrimmage, allowing Allen to break it backside.
Got enough for the first down. Move it again. 1st and 10. Aggies on the roll inside the BYU 35.
And this is an offense that has to get first downs to run the tempo that they want. They did it last week against San Jose State beautifully.
Myers zone read. Looking for the deep shot. Downfield caught. Touchdown Aggies. Dax Raymond holds it in. A 32-yard touchdown pass from Myers to Dax Raymond. And the Aggies are on the board first. A perfect opening drive for Kent Myers and Utah State.
That was an outstanding job across the board. The offensive line giving really good protection when it broke down. Myers using his legs to extend the chains, and then the decision-making and accuracy really shows how old number 2 has grown up.
PAT is good for Eberle. First career touchdown for Dax Raymond. Bouncing back from his medical redshirt back injury. Myers finds him, like the fight song says, playing the game with all their might. And the Aggies have a 7-0 start. A happy herd, 7-0 Aggies. Perfect start for Myers and Utah State.
Great play calling and execution. They're going to fake like they're going to run a screen. That's going to bring the eyes. The key is keep your eye right there on Damon. He really does a nice job of selling this. He stalks up like he's going to block them. These guys come down here, and then he slips past them. This is play action run perfectly to a T, selling off the fake and the great accuracy by Myers. Aggies up 7-0 pretty easily.
BYU, they play tough competition, but they're averaging 10 points a game. Worst in college football. You put 7 on the board against BYU, who struggled offensively. You've added even more pressure to the BYU offense. They'll bring it out. This is Treneman. He thought about taking a knee, and now Treneman with flags down gets across the 20. Treneman down to the 27, but there's flags back near the 10-yard line. So now we take a look at our Chick-fil-A starting lineups for what has been an anemic BYU offense. Beau Hoge will try and change that from Fort Thomas, Kentucky, the powerhouse Fort Thomas Bluebirds. That's produced Jared Lorenzen, Gino Gaudio, among others. Beau led him to a state title. Now his second start with the Cougars in place of the injured Tanner Mangum.
And I think Utah State is going to try to test the decision-making of Hoge tonight, changing the picture on him pre- and post-snap.
Tolu Tau in the backfield. Play fake from the end zone. Hoge incomplete, intended for Treneman on first down. For this BYU offense, let's take a look at the starters.
Well, keep your eye on the center, Tijan Karoma. He's making his 42nd career start. Carter, if this BYU offense is going to get going, it's got to do it on the run, and Karoma's got to lead them.
Run it again out of the end zone on 2nd and 10. Tolu Tau, the freshman from Glendale, Utah, gives him a little breathing room. Christiansen on the stop. Let's look at the Aggie defense.
We're going to see a lot of that running back we just saw. Chase Christiansen, leading tackler on this team. He's the captain, engineering major, had 8 tackles a week ago in a forced fumble. He's got to be a factor.
3rd and 3. Run it again. Short on 3rd down. Tolu Tau brought down by Christiansen again. Back-to-back stops by Christiansen. BYU's out there for 4th down now. Finally, the punt unit's coming on. 3 and out.
When you got linebackers that can come downhill and make plays behind the line of scrimmage, you got something going on the defensive side. I don't know if you could put back-to-back series any better than the Aggies just did.
Johnny Linehan's got a lot of work this year as BYU's punter. Gets it from inside the 5. Nathan lets it bounce around the 40. BYU was scooping around the 39. So the Aggie offense with a touchdown drive. The Aggie defense forces BYU 3 and out. The start of the 87th meeting between the Cougars and the Aggies is all Utah State. College football in the state of Utah lost one of its most beloved figures, Lavelle Edwards, this past December. I mean, respected across this state. He's a graduate of Utah State, coached BYU for 29 years. And not only as a football coach, but the way that Lavelle Edwards interacted with every single person in his life, a beloved figure. Saw Coach Edwards with Mike Holmgren, your old head coach, and Steve Young.
Yeah, the BYU tree is extensive. Lavelle Edwards was a former offensive lineman. Those tend to be pretty good people.
So the Aggies and the Cougars honoring Lavelle Edwards' memory tonight. Aggie football's second drive. The first time they marched down and got a touchdown to Dax Raymond. Now it's El Toro Allen in the backfield who set up the Aggies for 3rd and short.
Been impressed early on so far with the Aggies' offensive line production inside.
Call it 3rd and a long 1. Myers picked, and if he can hang on, it's a pick 6. Hanneman has it, and he takes it easily for 45 yards. The only challenge for Hanneman was hanging on to the football, and that is how BYU gets on the board.
Unbelievable read by Micah Hanneman. He was ahead of that play as if he was in the Utah State huddle. either through watching film or reading the quarterback and receiver's body language, he was a step ahead of the Aggies, and BYU in a position with this extra point to tie it up.
That is just the second interception of the year for BYU. Both of them pick sixes. The other one versus Portland State. Last year, the Cougars didn't have enough on the field, but the PAT's good anyway. Last year, that's what they did all year. 21 INTs. They had 4 defensive touchdowns. So the Cougars trying to find their way in 2017. Hanneman finds his hands on the football. Finds himself in the end zone. Remember how we began this game showing you the good and bad of both quarterbacks? 2 drives for Kent Myers and Utah State. We've seen good. This is not good.
Well, this is 2 defenders over 3 wide receivers. Ronquavian Tarver has to be able to block Hanneman here, but Hanneman sees it and jumps it, and it's a race to the end zone. That's just great instincts and poor blocking result in a quick 7 points for the Cougars.
So you put that more on Tarver than you do on Myers, even though it's a pick 6.
There's no question. He's got to be able to make that block. I think the question is on 3rd and 1 when your offensive line's playing pretty well, why are you throwing it out to the perimeter instead of just freaking mashing it up inside?
So that, I mean, BYU for an offense that is doing nothing in 2017, and you're down 7-0. We had that conversation with the Cougars yesterday about, hey, how's the division between the offense and the defense? And Fred Warner telling us there isn't any. We need to step up our game, and that's exactly what the defense does with the pick 6. So it's Aggie football. A touchdown the opening drive, then the pick 6, 3 and out last time. Myers and the Aggie offense, or punt last time they had it. On the sweep, give it on the edge, that's Nathan. Or a positive rush. Now, Mangum's already down for BYU. Hoge took a pretty good pop. We saw him limping on that last series.
There was some early pressure right through the middle of the offensive line that flushed him. He's trying to make a play holding the ball too long. Gets tackled there right towards the end and was grabbing what looked to be his right ankle. And he's got a little bit of a limp to him. That could be a developing story. I'm sure Jenny Dell will keep an eye on that for us.
Brace on the left knee as well for Hoge. 2nd and 3. Myers out of the backfield. It's bobbled. Allen couldn't haul it in, and it's lucky that Warner didn't get his hands on the football. That could have been another pick 6 after the bobble by Allen.
That was a really nice delivered ball that time by Kent Myers. Hits him right in stride, which is where you want to do to give the receiver an ability, Allen, to run after the catch. But Allen can't manhandle it, and I think smartly afterwards tried to knock the ball away when he felt the defender there.
Third and 3. Myers crossed at the 15-yard line. Corbin Kafusi drops him on 3rd down back at the original line of scrimmage. Kafusi exploding into the backfield. Aaron was trying to tell you about it. Problem with his mic. So Utah State will punt again. Here's Aaron Dalton. Tanner Jacobson. Back for BYU. Jacobson all the way back at the 30-yard line on a good punt from Dalton, and Jacobson is dropped at the 32.
I liked what they had with the deep shot. Expect them to try that again soon.
On the left side, Hoge keeps it for a gain of 9. They look pretty good there, Jenny. Although Hoge is up, limping again. Jenny?
Well, all I have right now, I have eyes on him, obviously, but all I have right now is he came over to the sideline and went to his coach and just said, ooh, that hurts.
Wow.
That's unfortunate because his legs are his greatest asset.
Tolu Tau in the backfield, playing to the outside on the screen. It's Powell, the freshman, making his first catch. Jalen Davis on the stop. BYU finally has a first down with the Hoge family, including Merrill. running back with the Steelers and the Bears. And he has been, we've watched Merrill since warm-ups. He has been locked in on Beau, warming up, getting ready. It's game face for Beau Hoge. To the outside again. Back-to-back catches. Powell on the edge. Why not go right back to it? Powell on the right side. Powell on the left side. And another first down.
BYU is testing the perimeter here and forcing Utah State into making tackles, and they're missing. And that's the problem. If you're Dallin Levitt, one of the leaders of this team, you have to tackle better than he did on these last couple.
Canada, right side, hole opens up, he pushes to the 26-yard line. Tay makes the stop. And with the seconds ticking away at the end of the first quarter, it was a perfect start for Utah State. A touchdown on offense. They got a 3-and-out on defense. The pick six for BYU. And after that, the Cougar defense.
That's the end of the first quarter.
With a dominant couple of series, and now the BYU offense is on the roll. Can Beau Hoge lead BYU into the end zone to give the Cougars a lead to begin the second quarter? 7-7 at the end of one. Our Chick-fil-A fan cam with a big tip of the hat to the herd. The student section was here early, loud, rocking and rolling. I mean, colorful. It looks more like a LeBron James before warm-up prior to kickoff here. But, of course, we're the fans of BYU and Utah State here. The Aggie fans, I mean, in the last 41 years, 5 wins over BYU. Without Tanner Mangum and with the BYU offense struggling, here's Hoge. The toss, Hoge complete inside the 10, and it is a touchdown, BYU, for just the 5th offensive touchdown this year for the Cougars. This one 26 yards to the fullback, El Bakri.
The reverse pass to the wheel route is a direct result of this offense having a bye week to install some special plays that Utah State hadn't seen. It's thrown on the money. Another missed tackle by the Aggies, and just the 5th touchdown of the year by the Cougars to take the lead.
PAT is good after the 7-0 start by Utah State. A defensive touchdown for the Cougars. And now an offensive touchdown. Like the BYU fight song says, rise all loyal Cougars, hurl your challenge to the foe. 14-7. It's now the 5th game of the year for the BYU Cougars, and they have their 5th offensive touchdown. Took some trickery to get there.
This is a rivalry game. There's a lot of energy, but BYU now believes they can win this game.
Short kickoff. It'll be fielded inside the 10. Scarver slips his way across the 20, flags down as Scarver gets to the 27-yard line. Jordan Love in at quarterback for Utah State, and his first pass is incomplete, intended on the outside to Tarver.
That was what they call an RPO, a run pass option. 17 times a week ago they threw RPOs, but really impressed with the new quarterback, Jordan Love. He's got a live arm. He can spin this. Don't be surprised if Utah State takes a deep shot on this set of downs.
And this was the plan for Utah State no matter what happened with Myers. Try to get Love a series in the second quarter. See how Love does with the offense. Just as he did last week against San Jose State, even though Myers is playing well. 2nd and 10, Love from his own goal line. Hit as he throws downfield. It is knocked away at the last second and incomplete. Heck of a defensive play by Dayan Gawuloku on Roberts.
That was a beautiful play of breaking on the football by Gawuloku. Just knocking the ball, timing it up perfectly. He was in phase. It was a beautiful throw, but just a better defensive play. The crowd booing because they thought that there was early contact. I didn't. I thought that was just a heck of a football play.
So now it's 3rd and 10. You saw Love show off the arm. But another solid play by BYU's defense. Love From the goal line again, looking at Tarver, it's knocked away, incomplete. This time it's Troy Warner, younger brother of Fred, who gets into the act, and the BYU defense is playing with a swagger.
2 back-to-back great plays by defensive backs. That ball was thrown a little bit behind Tarver. He breaks to the inside, but just coming underneath. Number 1 for BYU outplayed the football for number 1 from the Aggies.
Back-to-back 3-and-outs for the Aggie offense. Myers, the last possession at quarterback, Love this time, both resulting in 3-and-outs. It's Shelton back, Dalton to punt from the end zone. Fair catch called for, backing up to the 45-yard line.
Utah State has to get back in control because right now BYU's dictating this game.
Hand it off again. That's Tolutau. Tolutau pushing the pile forward to near the 50. Larson finally finishes it off. BYU first 2 possessions, 18 yards. That last drive, the touchdown, 68. And no coincidence that Hoge got hot. After the 0 for 3 start, he's completed his last 4 passes. Hands it off, and he's going to pull it this time. Take the handoff, and now Hoge on the edge. Gets another BYU first down to the 40 before Unga makes the stop.
Carter, we started this game talking about Beau Hoge's ability to run the football. He's a mobile athletic quarterback. Just a simple zone read concept. The end crashes down, trying to tackle the big running back, but nobody was home, and Hoge makes him pay.
That looked like it was out of the Taysom Hill playbook, now with the New Orleans Saints. And now Hoge with time to throw. Deep shot to the end zone. It is incomplete. Out of bounds. Tanner just missed Ingram in coverage.
Ingram did a nice job of using the sideline as an extra 12th defender there. Tanner's got to give himself a little bit more room because he catches the football. Oh my gosh, they may need to take another look at that. That was really close. It was on the line with his right knee as he came down.
Reviewing the play, the receiver got his right foot down in the end zone, maintained possession of the ball through contact with the ground. It's a touchdown.
The BYU coaches are next to us. It is a celebration because this BYU offense has back-to-back touchdown drives. A 40-yard TD as Tanner holds it in. Beau Hoge with his second touchdown pass of this second quarter.
And Carter, coming in tonight, BYU only had 8 plays of 20 or more yards. That's 2 per game. Well, they've had 2 so far tonight. And that last one was a beautiful one to put them up here by 14 in the second quarter.
Brett Ullman gets it through with the Hoge family watching on as Beau has led back-to-back TD drives, 21 straight for the Cougars. 21 on the board for BYU. One of those was a pick 6, but still 2 offensive touchdowns and a half is big news for BYU considering what they did the first 4 games.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, any one of those stats is meaningful, but the first downs is really what's catching my eye. They're clicking on all cylinders. They're using some creativity. They're running the ball efficiently enough to force Utah State to be honest, and they're playing really well on both sides of the football. I think Utah State's a little shell-shocked early on in this game, as easily as the first 2 series went for the Aggies, scoring a 9-play touchdown drive, forcing a 3-and-out. It was the Aggies' game to lose, but BYU makes a play, gets themselves right back into it, and we got ourselves a ball game.
0 yards of offense on the last 2 possessions for the Aggies. So looking for a spark. It's Lawan Hunt across the 20-yard line, across the 25, at the 26. Myers fakes it to Allen, looks to Allen again, and now Myers on the roll. Myers going to throw downfield near the 30. It is caught. What a grab. It's Raymond again who had the TD grab for Utah State. It's a catch at the 30 and another first down.
What I love about Myers, oh my God, that's a catch in the NFL. Just a nice job by Raymond, proven to be a big playmaker here early in this first half.
13-yard gain. Myers going to pull it again. on the RPO. Myers on the edge, and Myers goes down, but it's still another gain of 8.
I'm really liking the play calling and creativity here. It was just a slip lead. 87 Daz Raymond comes across like he's going to block. It ends up being almost a triple option where Kent Myers can keep it, a double option in this case, or dump it off. He elected to keep it 2nd and short.
Give to Allen. Allen pushing, appears to be just short, bringing up 3rd down and very short again.
And they're knocking on the door of the red zone. This is an important 3rd down play here. Give Kent Myers a 2-way go. Let him get to the perimeter.
Myers going to take a shot on 3rd and short. Flings incomplete. More pressure up front. So that means 4th down. And this is the kicking unit coming on for Utah State.
Yeah, it was interesting. Dax Raymond wanted to go for it right there, but they got stuffed on the play before it. I think this is a good call to get the points. This is a positive drive. And remember, offensively, any drive that ends in a kick is a good one. And this is a chance to get some points back up on the board to bring this thing within 11 points.
Eberle is perfect on the season. 38-yard attempt. Eberle's 38-yard is blocked by BYU. Utah State's best drive since the opening touchdown ends in a blocked kick by Corbin Kaufusi. So 21 straight points for the BYU Cougars, and it just when it looks like the Aggies were going to get back on the board. Kaufusi, it's a goal, 6'9" to Corbin Kaufusi, but a hand on it to keep it at 21-7. Mirror look at Old Main here on the lovely campus of Utah State in Logan, Utah. BYU's got it from their 21. Hodge, play action. Hodge on the roll, flings it, it's picked off. Intercepted, Davis has it. Davis into the end zone, touchdown. Jalen Davis with a pick 6. Pick 6 for BYU, and now the Aggies have one of their own. Off the deflection, Jalen Davis with his 3rd interception of the year, and the herd gets to celebrate. Utah State back in the end zone with a pick 6.
That'll get going again. Just trying to run a naked boot off the play action. Off-target throw, hits his own players, heads up. Job by Jalen Davis, and Utah State's back in it.
Hodge had completed 5 straight, 2 of them for touchdown passes. But Hodge on the roll takes the pop. It ends up in Jalen Davis's hand, and for the 3rd time in Jalen Davis's Aggie career, he has an INT for a TD. The Aggies are back on the board within a touchdown. Jalen Davis has the pick 6, but it was a group effort.
Yes, it certainly was. You're going to see the over route here. The play action is going to get Davis up here, but then he's going to come and do a really nice job of getting in between himself and the defender. And this ball should never get thrown. Look at it. There's no way for him to throw the football. Hodge throws it a pass he shouldn't throw, and just a heads-up play that time by Jalen Davis on a ball that shouldn't have been thrown. And take a look at that, Carter. All of last year, this defense for Utah State, only 10 takeaways. They've done so already through 5 games. The Aggies defense looking to be back in 2017.
They had 5 takeaways last week against San Jose State in a dominant win. So it's Coy Detmer Jr. back out there running his Uncle Ty Detmer's offense. You go back with the Detmer family. I know you
quite a bit. This is a little bit of a reality check on my age going on right now.
Coy Detmer Jr. flings to the outside. It's complete on the edge. Powell again has been the featured tight end receiver tonight for BYU with a gain of 5.
This is an interesting series here with a little bit over 3.5 minutes to go. BYU with 2 timeouts. They will receive the second half kickoff, so if they can get some points here, That could be really advantageous for them to be able to put back-to-back drives and extend this lead that they've created.
High snap. Detmer inside the 5, falls on the football back at the 1-yard line. With the high snap, Detmer has to run all the way back almost to the goal line. They're going to mark him closer to the 2, in fact, between the 2 and the 3, but it's a loss of over 20. It's a loss of 22 yards.
Crucial mistake, bad snap by Tijon Karoma. We featured him in lineups. He had a nose directly over him, but he was back blocking, looking like it was going to be a gap scheme. And that is a crucial mistake. But they got very lucky that this ball didn't go into the end zone. Great opportunity for the Aggies.
Aggies are pinning their ears back on 3rd and 27. Give on the right side, just get it out of the end zone for Tolutau. 4th down coming, and now the Aggies with 2:12 on the clock, 2 timeouts left for the Aggies. They're going to get the football back. Don't use a timeout here. A chance to stop the clock prior to the punt for 4th down. That could have been an opportunity to save valuable seconds for your offense with good field position.
The strategy here for them is to get this ball back with 1.5 minutes at midfield with 2 timeouts. With Kent Myers' ability to throw the ball vertically, that's a pretty good situation.
Lenahan to punt out the back of his own end zone. Gets it away. Nathan grabs it at the 43. And with 1:34, I mean, with this short of a field, 1:34, I mean, you don't even, clock is almost not a factor, especially with how quick the Aggies go.
It's a factor, but to your point, because this is an offense built on speed, they got to make sure that they execute and get first downs. That's the most important thing in a 2-minute situation. Get first downs, don't take a sack. Get first downs, get out of bounds. First downs, get out of bounds. They've got plenty of time, especially with two timeouts on a short field.
The only field goal they attempted was blocked.
It's a low kick and a 6'9" defensive lineman.
Hunt on the right side. Hunt. Positive gain. Let's check with Jenny.
Yeah, some tough news for BYU. Quarterback Beau Hoge will not return tonight. I'm not being told exactly what the injury is, but from my perspective, as he was walking to the locker room, he looked extremely out of it, guys.
Coy Detmer Jr.'s game now as Myers takes a shot to the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Tarver hauls it in. Ken Myers to run Quavian Tarver. A PAT away from a tie game. 1:11 before the half. Second touchdown pass of the game from Myers. The first was on the opening possession for the Aggies. And now, at the end of the first half, Myers into the end zone again. This time to Tarver.
Making that last touchdown all the more important is the news we just got about Beau Hoge.
Eberle's PAT is good. And we're even at 21. It was a 7-0 start for the Aggies. Then BYU rattled off 21 straight to take command. And now the Aggies have evened it before the half.
Well, here he is just down here at the bottom, going to run a go route. It's one-on-one crime run. Quavian Tarver being covered, and one-on-one coverage by Troy Warner. They're chicken fighting. Great push off there at the last second by run Quavian Tarver to get himself open. Watch his right hand. They're chicken fighting. But I don't know if you can throw a more beautiful ball on the outside shoulders. Drops it into a bucket by Kent Myers. That was an outstanding ball.
And BYU is down to Coy Detmer Jr., the third-string quarterback. Treneman thought about bringing it out. Got some good advice. Took a knee. Utah State has a penchant for scoring on defense. They already have 3 defensive scores this year, including the pick 6 by Davis. So we'll see what the strategy is. It's Dye in the backfield. Tolutau fumbled, remember, 2 possessions ago. So now it's Dye, and Dye, a patient run. He picks his way across the 30, balls forward again. And Trey Dye, the junior from Abilene, Texas, Cooper High School.
That was an absolutely terrible effort by the Aggies on defense, not running to the football. And a nice hard run that time by Dye.
Detmer back to pass on 2nd down. Seam, it's picked off. Levitt has it. Dallin Levitt with the interception. Levitt inside the 25. BYU takes the shot, and it ends up in the hands of the former Cougar, Dallin Levitt. He played 2 years for BYU. And now in his 2nd year playing for the Aggies, he has the 3rd takeaway by the Utah State defense in the first half.
The vocal leader with the great eyes, keeping it on the quarterback, following him exactly, telegraphs the young Detmer exactly where he wants to throw the football. Dallin Levitt jumps the route, gets another turnover, and the exact thing, Carter, we talked about them not doing is what they did, and they're about to pay for it potentially.
Myers flings it complete. Tarver again. Tarver has it at the 15. Still 2 timeouts. 23 seconds. Aggies will hurry. Myers takes a shot. End zone. Incomplete. Out the back of the end zone. Colston Green. Gawaloku in coverage. This is the first trip to the red zone for either team tonight. So it's the first time we get to tell you that tonight's red zone is brought to you by Verizon, and that Utah State needs to be better than their touchdown percentage.
And there's no question about that. And they might have thought about taking a timeout prior to that play. That last play took 11 seconds to get off. That's too much.
See if they have one more shot for the end zone. Myers looking for Tarver. Fade. Tarver incomplete. 6 seconds showing. 4th down. Here comes the kicking unit.
I might have tried to take a play over the middle with 2 timeouts. You can afford to get tackled in the middle of the field and call a timeout. Nonetheless, you've got 6 seconds to get a field goal off. That wasn't awful management of the clock in that situation in the 3rd down, but it could have gone a little bit differently had they taken a timeout on the 2nd down play.
That 38-yard attempt earlier was blocked by Kafusi. So now a 32-yarder, and it is good, giving Utah State a 24-21 lead, and that is how the first half will come to an end. 17 straight points at the end of the half for the Utah State Aggies, and the battle for the wagon wheel. Aggies by 3 at the half. The battle for the old wagon wheel has been on the line since 1948. This is the 87th meeting, and from the pregame scuffle all the way through the first half, it has all the earmarks of a rivalry game. Carter Blackburn, Aaron Taylor, Jenny Dell. Looked like just when BYU was starting to figure some things out on offense, you got to go to quarterback number 3, Coy Detmer Jr.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what his uncle Ty, the offensive coordinator for BYU, dials up for him. The run game's been there, but how they manage the second half is going to be really important. I think BYU's defense needs to step up. Matt Wells told us the key to this game was winning the turnover battle. They're doing that by a factor of 2. BYU needs to find a way to steal some possessions.
Those first half stats brought to you by Humana. So 17 straight for Utah State to close the half. They lead it by 3 at the break. Cougar football, as Jenny told us, Beau Hoge will not return tonight for BYU. Tanner Mangum still out with the ankle injury suffered on the last play against Utah. So Treneman trying to get the Cougars a spark, and he's dropped in the open field inside the 20. We check with Jenny Dell.
Well, Aaron just mentioned the turnover battle. I just spoke with BYU head coach Sitake, and he said their focus in the second half is that turnover battle. He said we gave up 2 turnovers that turned into points. As far as the game plan goes for BYU without Beau Hoge, it's going to stay just the same. Now, for head coach Matt Wells, he told me that the focus is for the D-line. They need to play better. in the second half, they need to stop the run, guys.
Well, that's pretty straightforward. And we see the BYU offense with Coy Detmer Jr. That play for the Colorado Buffaloes, NFL with the Philadelphia Eagles. And with Ty calling the plays, hand off, loose football, taken away again by Utah State. The fourth Aggie takeaway. Ingram has this one on the second fumble by Tolu Tau.
Dallin Levitt came up from that safety position. He's already had an interception tonight. Number 2 gets his head on the football right there, and it gets punched out from behind. It was hard to see who it was, but Kendrick Shaver, the defensive coordinator, said that he needs 30 ball searches. That means when the first guy's got him, the second guy comes up and tries to punch it out, and that was Ian Togiai that's credited with the forced fumble.
So a chance for Utah State to score off a takeaway again. Lawan Hunt dropped for a loss by Fred Warner.
The first drive of the second half is really a tone setter, and the defense for the Aggies just set the tone. Let's see if their offense can capitalize on it.
It's 9 takeaways in the last 2 games now by Utah State, when they had 9 all of last year. Myers to Hunt on the edge. Hunt finds the corner, steps out of bounds. He's wrestled out by Grant Jones, 5th-year senior from Concord, California. Third down coming up inside the 20.
And the red zone's been an area that Utah State has struggled with. Under 50% touchdowns. But take a look at that. Scored 17 points in that second quarter. But BYU's defense, the first part of that second quarter, was doing a really nice job of stopping them, and then it became the Kent Myers show. See that flexed defensive lineman there again.
Myers struggling, and he will go down at the 24. So 4th down coming up. Kicking unit coming on. That sack by Jones. He makes another nice play. Means about 4 more yards on the field goal attempt from Dominic Eberle. The only time that Eberle has missed this year was the block in the first half by Kafusi.
Really nice response this time by the Cougars defense to force this field goal. That's exactly what they needed to happen after that untimely turnover.
Eberle's kick is good from 40. But it's another 3 points off another takeaway by Matt Wells' Aggie defense. 27-21. BYU led this game 21-7. Since then, they've had the football 6 times, 4 turnovers in 6 possessions. First 4 games, BYU had 0 fumbles lost. 2 in this game. And they get the football back. Eberle into the end zone. Treneman hits a knee. So to the 25. BYU puts Tolu Tau in the backfield again with Detmer, despite the 2 fumbles.
I'm surprised by that, but it shows you the lack of depth they have.
He can still run it. Levitt makes the stop after Tolu Tau picks up another 12, maybe 13.
It's not about ability with Tolu Tau. It's about ball security and stamina. Those have been the 2 things that have been a problem for him, but that was a heck of a run on first down. Got to protect it.
Coy Detmer Jr. hands off again. So now the Aggies loading up on Tolu Tau. It's Chris Jansen, the junior from Stansbury, Utah. Aggies leading tackler who makes another stop. Dad was his high school football coach.
Had 8 tackles in their last game a week ago, a forced fumble. And I'm not surprised that we're starting to see Utah State load this box a little bit. I don't think they have to worry about Detmer's arm and the vertical pass ability there. So I think what's going to start to happen as the game progresses, unless BYU can take some vertical shots, the Aggies are going to start loading the box and take away that run game.
They had Jalen Davis as a corner basically lined up at defensive end.
There's no question. When you got 250 coming downhill at you, you need all the bodies in there you can get.
Freaky fast even on the D-line. So it's squally Canada into the game now on 3rd down. Go with the veteran junior in a passing situation. With the pressure on Coy Detmer Jr. on 3rd and 8. Detmer stands, delivers, it's picked off, and it's Jalen Davis again. Davis with another interception, and he runs it all the way back inside the BYU 40. The 5th takeaway by the Aggie defense tonight.
I think this is Davis right here. He's just going to run a couple hitches right there, and he just squats on it. The ball shouldn't get thrown. It's off target. It's almost as if Detmer thought the receiver was going to sink in, but it was man coverage. There was no hole for him to go to. And the 2nd interception in great field position once again for the Aggies.
So no matter who's taking the snaps for BYU, it's the same result. Turnover. Utah State gets it back.
Ball security is the most important thing.
And how about the pressure on the BYU defense now as Myers takes it to the 35. This game began with pressure on BYU's defense because the offense, I mean, even with Mangum at quarterback, they weren't moving the football. And now with option number 4 at quarterback for BYU, if the Cougars are going to steal this game, the defense is going to have to probably do the scoring themselves.
Spot on. We said that coming out of halftime. Keep in mind, Utah State still has less than 200 yards of total offense. The Cougars are playing pretty well tonight.
Huge hole up the middle. He takes it to the 25. I'll mark him at the 26. Jones on the stop, gain of 10.
Juan Hunt on the power right up the gut. They pull the backside guard, some good double team blocks to the play side, and they gash them inside. I love that inside run game.
Your point about BYU's defense, the first down of the half. Myers on the roll on 1st and 10. Van Leeuwen grabs it. Van Leeuwen dives forward inside the 25. Oloco on the stop. Taki applied the pressure.
That effectively ends up being a sweep to the right and a run play. It's a high percentage throw. It's really a double option where the quarterback can run or throw it. There's that flex defensive lineman again. Taki's actually a linebacker, but he's roaming the middle. That makes it really hard for the identification of the offensive line.
Myers going to pull it with a block on the edge. Myers takes a pop inside the 20. Taki on the stop. Here's 3rd down.
And that's what they want him to be able to do, is stay clean and not get caught up in that trash. He's so athletic and can run sideline to sideline so well, as we saw in that last play.
27-21. We will go to the 4th quarter despite 6 turnovers by BYU. Despite 3 different quarterbacks in this game for the Cougars. We go to the 4th quarter with the old wagon wheel still in question. It's 27-21 and Logan. Going to the 4th quarter with our Bud Light game summary. This game or any game, 6 turnovers, I mean, it should be over, and it is not.
And that's what the point we've been trying to make. This Utah State offense has been abysmal with the gifts that their defense has given them. Only 13 points off of those 6 turnovers. You got to give a lot of credit to this BYU Cougar defense that's really stepped up and tried to help their offense out. It's been trying to give this game away.
We begin the 4th quarter with 3rd and 3 from just inside the BYU 20. Myers going to pull it. Blocker on the edge. Myers has it inside the 10. Touchdown! Myers takes it himself. And the Aggies open the 4th with a statement. Off that 6th takeaway by the defense. Myers rushes it in for 19 yards out. And now the Aggies control it at the beginning of the 4th.
That's the thing that they've needed to do the entire second half and really throughout the game. And they're going to go for 2 to give themselves a 2-touchdown lead to be up 14 instead of 13. That's what all those 2-play charts call for. It's a little early. And maybe a little unnecessary if they don't get this. It's a little momentum for BYU to get a stop exactly like that.
And Kafusi makes the stop on Myers. So it's another solid play by Kafusi in the BYU D. 33-21. Myers with a rushing touchdown. Kafusi gets the stop on the 2-point conversion.
Those are those Myers legs that we talked about. Just a brilliantly designed play. The linebackers completely out of position. Everybody bites inside, including Dallin Levitt, who's been such a force in the run game. Kent Myers just uses his athletic ability to get to the outside edge, scores a 19 touchdown.
Pooch kick. Loose football again. Down at the 40-yard line before the football comes out. My goodness.
They can afford to stay balanced with all this time left, but eventually he's going to have to throw the football.
Tolutau on the right side. Tolutau has fumbled the football twice in this game, but he has run it well. And he takes it again across the 45. And Tolutau looks more like a rugby when he gets the football and pushes that scrum across the 40.
It is very scrum-esque, and if you're Utah State, you got to bow your neck. You got to run to the football and gang tackle that big guy and hit him down low. Don't try to arm tackle him.
Detmer throws complete. He's got him. Inside the 10, it's Treneman who makes the grab, and it's 1st and goal BYU on the first completion of the second half for the Cougars.
Just a beautiful ball, 40-yard completion. Treneman just running right past the defender. And now they've got the ball inside the red zone.
Detmer, hands off. Flags are down, but for now, Tolutau into the end zone for a touchdown.
There are 2 fouls on the offense. Holding offense number 84 at penalties decline. Holding offense number 35. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Take your pick.
I mean, taking points off the board. Points are at a premium for this offense. Here he is right here. You love him trying to make a play. He's got his hands inside there, but he takes that right arm and drags it down. That's the easiest thing for them to see. But because of that hold, it did play a role in that play being successful.
Detmer's going to split out as a receiver. Kafensis into the game, and the Wildcat again. So it's still 1st and goal. Detmer's in the slot. Kafensis going to keep it. Left side, Kafensis wrapped up and driven back. Tamavena leads the charge for the Aggies. Our red zone brought to you by Verizon. Among the BYU offensive struggles, red zone. That is terrible. 3 for 10 touchdowns on the year.
Not good. Dalton Baker was involved in that last tackle as well. Utah State really struggling to kind of figure out who's supposed to be in the game. There's some confusion here as the Aggies try to respond to who's under center for BYU.
Detmer will take the snap, 2nd and goal, all the way back at the 18. Detmer to the end zone. It's incomplete. The only player close to it was Levitt, so it would have been picked again. Bouldery, the intended receiver, fell down at the 5.
Fell down. It was tackled. There was a couple different Aggies that were on him, but clearly some miscommunication there.
Christiansen back in the game for Utah State. One of the leaders of the Aggie defense for 3rd and goal.
Aggies are making a wholesale change here now. You've got a field goal. You're in great position, so it's important that no matter what happens for BYU here, you can't take a sack or a loss that knocks you out of field goal position.
Detmer to El Bakri. Gets it inside the 20, so no gain, nothing there, but that's exactly what Todd Detmer and BYU's playing for.
It was a conservative play call. You're absolutely right, and one that I like. They're on the left hash. This is a chip shot, a very makeable 37-yard field goal. And I got to tell you, that's got to put something to think about in the defensive coaches for this Utah State defensive club, because BYU may have found a vertical pass game, And they seemed a little disheveled on this last drive, the Aggies.
Ullman to kick it, Matt Foley, the snapper and motivational speaker for this BYU Cougar team. And Ullman boots it through to make it 33-24. But Matt Wells and the Aggies, 12-28, still a two-possession game. The field goal by BYU ends a 26-0 run by Utah State since it was 21-7. And obviously, the takeaways by the Aggie defense has been the biggest factor in the game tonight.
It's been the biggest factor, but Utah State's offense hasn't been able to take advantage of it. I mean, it's +5 right now and still a 9-point ball game. Utah State hasn't been able to take it away, but you got to give credit to this Aggie defense. They are forcing fumbles, getting pick sixes, interceptions. There's only 4 of those, the 6 that we've seen. But again, the last 2 games, they've had more takeaways than they did all of last year.
I mean, you have to laugh at that. I mean, you say college football, Matt Wells and the defense preached all year long. I mean, take the football away, take the football away. You couldn't have imagined 11 takeaways in 2 weeks.
It's been amazing, but I've also been impressed by BYU's defense as well. They haven't gotten the turnovers.
Ooh, very close to out of bounds at the 1, but Scarver has it. Scarver stays in bounds, and he pushes across the 20-yard line. That's a good play by Scarver. It was a 7-0 start for the Aggies, then 21 straight for BYU, then 26 straight for Utah State. And then finally that last BYU field goal to end that run. Hunt on first down to the 29. Mark him down to the 28. Taki on the stop.
Obviously, you're going to try and run the clock down. Utah State uses tempo. They get to the line of scrimmage. They're going to keep running their offense to try to score. And if you're BYU defensively, you got to find a way to punch that ball out and get a turnover. They are still very much in this ball game.
Hunt hit as soon as he touches it. Tanialu, handsome Tanialu, the senior nose. 4th and 3rd down.
The official holding it, allowing the substitution. Watch Kent Myers' legs here.
This is a huge play for BYU's defense and
No
the
question.
Cougars in this game.
Utah State milking the clock by changing the play after they get lined up at the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd and 3, Hunt will take it on the edge. Hunt has a seam, has a first down across the 40-yard line. Hanneman finally makes the stop. Gain of 11 on 3rd and 3.
Credit this Utah State staff for making the adjustment, seeing something they like and having the outside leverage. Roman Andrus, the left tackle, really nice block there to seal the perimeter.
Since 1975, Utah State has only 5 wins in 41 years over BYU. And now the Aggies have a chance to beat their rivals, sending them to 1-4. Myers gets the sack. Taki. BYU will use a timeout. 2 remaining still, stopping the clock at 3:41.
The Aggies defense, time and time again, doing a really good job of giving the ball back to their offense. Let's see if the offense has one more drive in them to ice this game.
Hunt on the left side. 3rd down coming. There's a second timeout used by BYU. 1 remaining, only 1 chance to stop the clock.
Pretty important 3rd down play. You almost have to think about putting the ball in the air, but they don't.
Hunt on 3rd down. So BYU will stop it one last time at 3:32. Warner makes the stop. So you go back to 4 straight wins in the 70s by Utah State over BYU, and then the moments that the Aggies have had to celebrate are very few. 2010, when the Aggies were in the WAC, Well, last time they won at home over BYU. Beat them again in 2014 when BYU was undefeated and ranked, and the Aggies went down to Provo and won. But this is the last time we've seen a scene like this here in Logan, Utah, and we're 3:32 away from an all-out party Friday night around Utah State.
I think it may start snowing here in Logan if the Aggies pull this off. That conservative play call on 3rd down means this staff is putting some faith in their Aggie defense to get the win for them.
Bolton hits it at the 32. Jacobson. That's fielded by one of the up men for BYU out of the 38-yard line. So 3:20, no timeouts, needing 2 scores. Trey Dye is in the backfield.
Crossing routes underneath as well have worked.
Detmer downfield, tip by Levitt. He nearly had another one. The former Cougar. Dallin Levitt, who was leading the student section in cheering during that last offensive possession.
So you got 3 downs now to go 10 yards. All BYU needs to be thinking about right now is 1st downs. You don't need to score a touchdown quick. Just keep moving the chains and being successful. You do have to worry about time, but you can't get too greedy and put yourself in a hole.
Detmer's 2nd down. Fling to the outside. Knocked away. It's Ingram who makes a play. It's 3rd and 10.
Not surprised that that play call went towards the outside the perimeter. We said it the play prior when they've been throwing over the middle. Great adjustment there on the switch off in the zone coverage that time by the Aggies.
Dallin Levitt back out there for 3rd down.
BYU's got the option to run a draw here, especially if Utah State brings some pressure.
Detmer hit as he throws and picked off again. It's Jalen Davis again. Inside the 20. Davis with an exclamation point. His 3rd pick of the game. The 2nd pick 6. The party is on in Logan.
See Detmer there. Kid competed. You got to give him credit for that. Just too many bad decisions and not to be unexpected by a number 3.
The 7th takeaway of the night by the Utah State defense. Matt Wells and the Aggies with a 40-24 lead. Jalen Davis has led the way.
I can only imagine what was being said before, during, and probably after this game between these 2 ball teams.
Fumble, Dye scoops it up, and now Dye takes the hit at the 30-yard line. Being an independent and the way that they have the schedule, it's always, for now, for BYU, going to be a difficult start to the year and then try and rally from there and try and recover from there. But now, 1-4, you've had your bye week, and you lose this game in demoralizing fashion to the Aggies. Detmer still throwing, still completing. Bushman makes the grab.
Levitt in there on the tackle. He's back in the game, but you're absolutely right. And the reality is this is the best matchup of the season that BYU's had in terms of personnel. They played some teams that can play some dang football now. LSU, Wisconsin, and those defenses with all those athletes. They matched up well. They just lost a dang turnover battle.
And they lost it badly. Detmer on the roll. It's incomplete. I mean, this is all essentially inconsequential with a 40-24 game at 2:29. So now where do you go if you're BYU? I mean, hope desperately that Hodge is okay and that Mangum can come back quickly from the ankle injury and hope that that is able to give your team a boost.
Yeah, and before we write BYU off, I think we got to be fair to them and say they could score a touchdown, get a 2-point conversion, get an onside kick, score a touchdown, get another 2-point conversion. With no timeouts, that's very unlikely, but it is possible, especially if you're going to drop footballs. To your point, Carter, you go back to the drawing board. They said that it was all about getting back to basics during the bye week. Too much thinking. Just play situational football on defense. Do your 1/11th, they like to say. The problem is that the offense has been so bad, it's really put their defense that I think has done a pretty dang good job tonight. And throughout the season has shown flashes. They just put them behind the 8-ball too many times.
And the bigger issue is Taysom Hill's a Saint and Jamal Williams is a Packer. And Detmer just desperation. Now it's 4th down. Louis Compton gets the pressure on Coy Detmer Jr.
Tell you what, from a play call choice standpoint, the deep crossing routes, China's digs, something that's coming across. We've seen Detmer hit a couple of those earlier. If you're a receiver, you got to get beyond the sticks. Nothing can be thrown underneath 10 yards.
Detmer on 4th down, last chance. It's incomplete. And the Aggies are going to take over with 2:09. BYU can't stop the clock. And now it's official.
Just saw Kalani Sitake take his headset off there. That's as much of an acknowledgement that this game is over as anything. That's a good football coach right there. He's coached a lot of football, but his teams in a whole, it's his job to get him out. And you wonder where he's going to start, particularly on the offensive side of the ball.
The Old Wagon Wheel trophy comes back to Logan. Haven't had it here since the 2014 win when they won at Provo. Haven't been able to celebrate at home with a win over BYU since 2010.
Stay in bounds.
Yep, Hunt just running the football, running the clock. BYU can't stop it. We're inside at 2 minutes. Utah State will run it out. 3-2, and for the Aggies trying in a bounce back year from 2016, this is an electric win for the Aggie football program to go to 3-2 and beat your rival Cougars in decisive fashion.
It's about to be a whiteout after this game. I wouldn't be surprised if these fans storm the field kind of like we stormed that jambalaya in the press box. Top 5 all-time pregame meals, I'm saying.
That's high praise. Myers in victory formation. The seconds tick away. Utah State. In front of their student section, the herd that was here early to set the tone. Matt Wells told us this is personal. There's no talk of playing down the BYU rivalry. There's no use because it is huge for the Aggies, for the alums, for the players. And for the 6th time in 42 years.
They're going to have to run one more play here.
The Aggies are ready to run off and grab the wagon wheel. Literally, they were headed to grab it, including Quinn Ficklin, the former BYU offensive lineman. It's official. For the 6th time in 42 years, Utah State beats BYU, and the Old Wagon Wheel trophy is back in Logan. The student section they call the herd is living up to its name, spilling onto the field here at Maverick Stadium. with 7 takeaways. The Utah State defense leads the way in a 40-24 win. And down in that celebration, Jenny Dell.
So, Coach, we asked you before this game your favorite memory from the Wagon Wheel game. You said it was 1993. You were holding the clipboard for Utah State, and they won 58-56. How does this one compare?
It's pretty close. You know, I'm just happy. Oh, you gotta watch out. Here comes the wheel. I'm just so proud, Jenny, of those kids. Unbelievable effort, both sides. Jalen Davis played lights out. I'm just happy for these kids and all these fans.
You had 10 turnovers on defense all last year. You had 5 takeaways last week, 7 tonight. What have you been feeding these kids?
We talked about turnover margin being the #1 key to victory, and tremendous job by the defense. This is loud. I'm happy for them.
What can a win like this do for the program? I mean, you see this entire city involved.
It's a big win. I mean, there's no other way around it, but we got a Mountain West next week. This is a big time. We got to learn to come back.
Congratulations, Coach.
The Old Wagon Wheel is going to stick around Logan, Utah for a while. This party's going to go a while tonight. Utah State wins it 40-24. For Aaron Taylor, Jenny Dell, our entire crew, I'm Carter Blackburn. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Let's send you to Brent Stover, Houston Nutt, Christian Fourier, Inside College Football, presented by Go RVing.